In this video, I'll explain why I believe XRP will be one of the cryptocurrencies that make it. We got a fascinating data point earlier today that shows you that the elites are the government, institutions, and big financial players who understand that XRP will have a place in this future financial system. I'd like to go through exactly what I witnessed. Today, that gives me a lot more confidence that when the dust settles, is going to be one of the few cryptocurrencies to make it to the conclusion of the video. Continue reading to the end to find out more. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in, make sure to watch this new video right now. Hello and welcome to our channel, where we discuss the newest XRP news and the cryptocurrency world in general. If you are watching one of our videos for the first time, we will gladly offer you a special greeting. We encourage you to enable notifications so you never miss any video. We are pleased to announce that this channel is hosting a 200 XRP giveaway. To be eligible to participate, simply subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment with the hashtag XRP. On September 15, the winner will be announced. I also want to break down the present market position. I'd want to explain why I believe the pricing is reasonable. Action has been so boring recently, but I'll also show you why I'm very hopeful about what's coming up. Like, oh, your support means so much to this channel if you enjoy these videos, and make sure to take a quick second to like this video and subscribe. To my channel, it's going to help me out a lot, and if you ever need a decent location to get some XRP or the Flare token, make sure to check out my favorite exchange, which is supported in the description of this video. Let's get started. I hope you appreciate the content, so I'd like to start this movie by actually showing you something. You have a clip from a Twitter conversation earlier today in which Ryan Selkis is discussing Gary Gensler and the Now. I wanted to show you this footage. Because Ryan's Toki takes after Gary Gensler and the SEC, and he says a lot of things here that I believe everyone needs to hear right now, and I like. What Ryan Selkis is doing here is one of the few people ready to take a stance against Gary Dancer and the SEC. He expresses his thoughts, regardless of whether they may have negative consequences for him in the future. And that is something I always appreciate. I was simply going to show you this video, right? He's here because he rips into Gary. And I bet you'll all enjoy hearing this like a gangster, because ain't just a liar. I've been working on it for 2 years. He's just that there's no other way to put it. Say it. He's crooked and a liar. It's not just that he makes terrible decisions. Scammers and bad actors should be pursued by the SEC. It's already against the law, but you know what I mean. What's your problem with her if you want to do your job and be a hero? Why don't you catch Voyager Celsius Genesis FTX instead of displaying them in your office, since they're political donors, and do your job instead of chasing celebrities? That is why people despise him. It's not that he's malicious, or that we're attempting to exploit regulatory arbitrage. It's that he is corrupt, dishonest, and fully captivated by an anti-crypto senator with disproportionate influence in this administration and Elizabeth Warren. That is simply the case. So, I think people get nervous talking about politics in general, and I've certainly opened myself up to that. To some criticism and, as you know, a lightning rod, but are you aware of some of the statements I've made in the last 2 years? Unfortunately, aging well, and I think most people agree that if there isn't a changing of the guard in this administration, it moves offshore like it's over in the US. So I thought that was a great clip by Ryan Selkis right there that hits on the most important points. No one dislikes Gary Gensler. He is rude because he is cracking down on particular projects where Matic is opposed to him, or because he refuses to go after crooks. He's missed all of the major scandals, while cracking down on players who are simply trying to be honest and do the right thing. Ryan Selkis killed it in this sector, in my opinion. I believed his message was particularly important. When it comes to politics, guys, we rarely discuss politics on our channel, but it is evident that the current administration, or at least a significant portion of the ruling party, is opposed to cryptocurrencies. Hopefully that transformation will be reflected in elections. I don't think so. For the time being, I'm a one-party voter. I exclusively vote for cryptocurrencies, thus any candidate that is prepared to come out and support crypto gets my vote. Unfortunately, I wish crypto wasn't so engaged in politics right now, but hopefully soon we won't have to worry about this stuff and cryptocurrencies will just have the regulations they need to thrive in the United States, and we won't have to continuously worry about what corrupt people are doing. Bureaucrats are doing so now, and I'd like to move on and break down a data point I saw earlier today that just thinking is critical in understanding which cryptocurrencies are going to make it into the future, and which ones weren't there when I first saw. I was extremely excited, because it gives us a very good idea of what the world's most powerful institutions think about XRP. So earlier today, we had the Palau Ministry of Finance Twitch on XRP. Now, the reason this is so significant is that you may recall a couple of years ago, or maybe a year ago now, when El Salvador declared Bitcoin to be a currency, and the IMF freaked out, they said. They planned to cut off all funding. They attempted to persuade El Salvador to alter their decision, thus the IMF was irritated. El Salvador truly went out of their way to legalize Bitcoin. After seeing that, I was curious how the IMF would react to a country like Palau going out of its way to construct a CBDC on the XRP ledger. Was the IMF going to have the same attitude as Palau? They'll be shocked to learn that Palau was using a public blockchain, the XRP ledger, to create their CBDC, and what we learned today is that it doesn't look like Jay is essentially applauding the IMF for coming out and sitting down with them and talking about the innovation happening in Palau. What we learned today that it doesn't look like. This indicates to me that this is the largest. Institutions all across the world are comfortable with the XRP ledger, and they are compatible with countries that are developing CBDCs on top of the XRP ledger. This is quite exciting because, essentially, when El Salvador accepted Bitcoin, there was enormous opposition. People were panicking out, saying, "You can't do this." However, when they implement the XRP ledger, it appears that everyone is happy. It is incredibly significant in the future because more countries want to use this technology. Certain that they are being supported in this decision, and that there is no negative fallout from what we discovered. Today, it appears that governments may work on the XRP ledger without receiving international resistance, which is incredibly significant. I believe that in the future, large organizations such as the IMF will fight for specific technologies to win. It's never been hotter out here. It is evident to me that the XRP ledger is on their side. We have seen innumerable data points after endless data points of Brad Garlinghouse sitting down with IMF members, and we have heard different IMF members talking about Ripple and XRP, but this was all for show. Finally, we have data from the actual world. We discovered that their answer was far superior to that of another country. On this, it appears to me that XRP will be on the right side of this, so now I want to complete this video and speak about why the market has been trading sideways and why we haven't seen anything interesting. I just want to break it down. Stopping inflation is a significant reason why the market hasn't done well since interest rates are going off a cliff. Yes, we've had a few poor data points here and there, but when you zoom out and look at the big picture, inflation is falling dramatically. Therefore, what is happening is that many individuals believed that the process of lowering inflation would result in black swans in the market. Have firms missed out on large profits? Because the rise in loan rates was expected to harm businesses, we're seeing that most companies are still beating expectations with solid earnings and low inflation. That means we're kind of landing the plane right now. Everyone feared the plane would crash when inflation fell, but inflation is still falling and businesses are still doing well. So, what's the point of it all? Looking at this chart, I just want to make a quick comparison to Bitcoin. Understand that Bitcoin drives the majority of the other cryptos. What we can see is Bitcoin. In December 2021, it reached its peak at the same time as Nvidia, correct? They both fell precipitously once the Federal Reserve began raising interest rates. Since then, huge Wall Street corporations and investors have understood Nvidia will be fine. Nvidia will make it through this. And the price has gone up, right? Now I see Bitcoin in a similar position to where Nvidia was. In that, it required Wall Street to convince the stock that everything was all right. I believe we will see the same thing with Bitcoin. I believe the price action is simply delayed. There has been a lot of fun around FTX, and there has been a lot of fun about Binance, which has been holding the price down. But I believe the direction will be the same as Nvidia's two assets trade extremely similarly, and as long as we have a price action. These catalysts fade when people realize that no matter what happens to FTX or Binance, Bitcoin and XRP will be fine. We will see a significant amount of the price appreciation that these crypto assets have been missing out on revert in a huge way. Finally, I believe we are nearing the conclusion of this dull sideways period. I believe this move is just around the corner. Let's see what occurs. But so far, all the indicators are looking extremely positive, guys. Thank you very much for your visit. I hope this helps. If you liked this update, please like and subscribe, and for the time being, make provision.